What if the chains you've carried for years weren't visible, but they were real, and only Jesus could break them? What if freedom wasn't about escaping circumstances, but about confronting the darkness inside? What if your life could be completely transformed in an instant by surrendering to the one who holds ultimate authority? In Luke 8:26-39, we encounter a man who lived among the tombs, isolated and tormented, bound by chains no human hand could undo. He was a man known to the community only for fear, chaos, and destruction. Night and day he cried out among the tombs, harming himself and frightening anyone who approached. His life had become a story of despair, a cautionary tale whispered by villagers, a human shadow of what total captivity could look like. When Jesus arrives in the region of the Gerasenes, the first thing he sees is this man, distant, screaming, uncontrollable. The disciples may have recoiled. Locals had avoided him for years. But Jesus steps forward. Authority flows in his presence, yet there is no fear, no hesitation. Jesus asks a simple question: "What is your name?" It is a question that pierces deeper than any chains. It is a question that reclaims identity. For someone possessed, name and selfhood are fragmented. In the scriptures, knowing a name holds power, but here the name is a confession of bondage. "Legion," the man replies. A legion of demons, indicating not just one but many, each exerting control over his mind and body. This interaction is critical. Jesus doesn't argue, negotiate, or plead with the spirits. His command carries authority. He simply says, "Come out of him." The demons obey immediately. Their recognition of Jesus' authority is total. They beg not to be sent into the abyss, but to enter the nearby herd of pigs. And at his word, the unclean spirits leave the man and enter the pigs, which rush into the lake and drown. The scene is shocking, dramatic, and deeply symbolic. The forces of darkness flee when confronted by the light of Christ. The transformation is immediate and visible. The man's chains are gone. He is clothed, sane, and seated at Jesus' feet. His fear has vanished. Where there was screaming and terror, there is now peace and gratitude. His restoration is not gradual, it is instantaneous. But the impact on the community is profound. Witnessing this event leaves the villagers astonished, fearful, and reflective. They had lived with darkness personified, and now they see the power of God manifested before their eyes. This story illustrates several layers of truth for modern audiences. First, it reveals the total authority of Jesus over spiritual forces, including those that are invisible and terrifying. Demons, representing destructive habits, addictions, or mental torment in contemporary terms, cannot resist his command. If we view the story metaphorically, it demonstrates that no darkness, no internal struggle, and no past bondage is beyond God's transformative power. Second, the story emphasizes the cost and choice of restoration. The man, once freed, asks to follow Jesus, but Jesus instructs him to return home and share what God has done. Freedom is not merely a private relief, it carries responsibility. Testimony, gratitude, and obedience are the natural responses to deliverance. It's a call to influence others by living a transformed life, not just to enjoy personal liberation. Third, the narrative highlights the tension between fear and faith. The local community was amazed and yet afraid. They had witnessed the dramatic confrontation of good and evil and were unsettled by the display. Often, when God's power intervenes, it challenges social norms and comfort zones. True transformation disrupts ordinary life and invites reflection, even unease. The story also underscores Jesus' compassion. He approaches someone the world avoided, someone the community had discarded. Spiritual authority in this context is inseparable from love. The power of Jesus is not coercive for personal gain, it is restorative. He confronts darkness, not for spectacle, but to reclaim life, dignity, and identity. For us today, the story encourages reflection on personal demons. Whatever captivates, frightens, or isolates us, it reminds us that healing and restoration begin not with self-effort, but with encountering the authority and presence of Christ. Like the man possessed, we often live in shame or fear, isolated from community or peace. Yet Jesus' approach is personal, direct, and life-changing. Finally, the story emphasizes the importance of testimony. The man once healed becomes a witness, proclaiming what God had done for him. Deliverance is meant to be shared, to inspire hope and to demonstrate God's power and mercy to others. His restored life becomes a living proclamation of the kingdom of God. In conclusion, Luke 8:26-39 is more than an account of exorcism. It is a profound revelation of Jesus' authority, compassion, and transformative power. It challenges believers to confront personal darkness, embrace restoration, and testify to God's work in their lives. Thank you for watching this video. If this message inspired or encouraged you, please like the video, share it with someone who may need hope today, and follow the Holy Path Insights channel for more reflections on the life-changing teachings of Jesus. Your support allows us to continue bringing meaningful biblical insights into the lives of viewers worldwide.